inside your bedroom. We stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm. Physical silence, no need to speak a word. Lay here beside me. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on the floors, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I never dare to ask if we're gonna last. I'm needing all your love, needing all your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts. Your blood is pumping, I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves. Your taste is different, somehow it makes me brave. Chemical nature. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on the floors, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool. Thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so cruel how I'm loving the things you do. Ooh, yeah. Oh, when you move, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Never too fast. Your lips on the floors, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I'm a sucker for hearts.
Hello and welcome to the live stream. My hair is a little fluffy today. Where I live, it has been raining off and on all day. The weather has not been all that ideal. I actually skipped my run today, which is something I haven't done in a little bit for a long run, just because the weather was gross and I didn't see it ever having a break to get outside. And sure enough, it did, but it was late in the day, so couldn't have gone on my run anyway. But this afternoon has been very productive for me. I've gotten a lot done around here, a lot of planning done for this next week, and hopefully a lot of writing this evening. So tell me in the chat, if you have not already, what you guys will be working on tonight during our live stream. If you are brand new, my name is Amy Prokopis. I am an indie author. I write fantasy romance. And tonight, I am working on Curse of Blood and Sight, which is book 2 in my Steamy Vampire series. Tonight, I think we're actually going to get to another pretty spicy bit where my main characters, Lily and Angel, have kind of a big discussion. So I think it'll be a really fun writing night for me. There are some other things I need to wrap up before I get started. So I'm not expecting the first sprint to be super productive. I am starting the night at 35,920 words. That is how far I am into this book. My goals. I would really like to have finished Curse of Blood and Sight by the end of this month. I don't think I'm going to quite get there. That could change. That depends on how much I can get done during the week. I would love to write a couple more days this week. I have it actually scheduled out that way, but we'll see. I also have my editor is sending my dragon book, Trial of Flame and Wings. That comes back to me on Friday. So final edits will be done, and then it'll be back in my hands to implement and create the final draft. And I want to do that as soon as I can, the 1st of May, because I really, really want to get ARC readers started in May, because that book comes out June 23rd. So, I am very, very excited. Oh, somebody is new here. Hello, I am new here. I'm working on a rough draft tonight. That is awesome. I am glad to hear it. Oh, it should be a really good night. I just ate spicy food, so my nose is running like crazy. So I apologize if I sound kind of funky. There's that. And then allergies, spring allergies have kind of hit my household as well. And if you are somebody who's come the last few live streams anyway, the background has not changed. I do intend on putting the shelves up behind me and putting my book stock on it to display behind me. That way it can get off of the floor, because right now the books I have in stock are all sitting on the floor behind me. So I would really like to give them a proper home and create kind of a decor piece using them. So hopefully I can get that up this week as well. That is something on my to-do list. I've said that every week though, so we will see. I did get more stock in this week. If you are not up to date, I had originally ordered a shipment of books that was supposed to be here last week. It was supposed to get here early last week, and then it showed up in my state. It stalled on like the tracking, and then finally it got changed to damaged. So I had to reorder, and the books were not supposed to come in until today. And I had an author event I needed them for the day before, Saturday, and thankfully they showed up literally like 2 hours before the event. So I was able to pack them up real fast and take them. And it was a good thing because the event was very good for me. And I actually sold out of some of my stock. So what I have left, if you would like a signed bookmark, a signed paperback, or some other things, I've got some other things up on my website as well. You can check that out at amyprokopis.com. It should be linked in the description box as well. So we have talked a little bit about what we are working on tonight. I also try to put that in the chat also, because if you are new to me, I like to track my word count per writing sprint. It's just motivating for me. And it's just kind of like a hit of dopamine at the end of every one of these sprints to see just how much writing I've gotten done for that time. So I will be working on Curse of Blood and Sight today, and I will be starting sprint. Whoa, that is not how you spell that at all. Number 1 at 35,920 words. I am getting closer to my next champagne milestone. So the way I celebrate the little wins, especially in my writing process, I have certain milestones along the entire journey. So from writing the rough draft all the way to finally publishing a book, I have many milestones in the middle. And for each one of those that I check off, I have a mini bottle of champagne, which really just equates to it's like a single glass of champagne, but it's just kind of fun to celebrate those milestones. So I call them my champagne milestones. And my next one is 50,000 words. So we are getting closer. I'm hoping to at least, I would love to have a 5K day this week. And I think I'm set up so that I can do that. I would love to have like a 10K week if possible. I don't know if that's possible or not, but this is a lighter week for me. I have the National Counselor's Exam on Tuesday. If you were in the live stream last week, then you are probably going, what are you talking about? I thought that was last week. It was, but the server was down. And so I drove out there. They couldn't get it back up. And so I had to reschedule. So that is this week. And other than that, I have nothing on the agenda except writing. So I am stoked, so excited. Rachel says, I am the same way. Love knowing how many words I get per sprint. It's just really helpful. I just enjoy it. I think especially as writers, because it can be really isolating sometimes for us, because a lot of us don't, I mean, like in real life, we may not know very many other authors. And so I think that sometimes it can be really easy to see everybody's big wins online, like other authors' really big wins online, and forget that they had a lot of other things along the way, a lot of either hangups or a ton of work behind the scenes. And so it can be really easy to compare. I think we do that in general with social media, but especially for authors, when we are pouring our heart and soul into something, I think it just hits a little bit different and can be really hurtful sometimes. Not that the other authors shouldn't be posting what they are. I think they totally should if they so want to, but I know that it can be harmful on our own self-esteem. And so I think it's super important to take a minute and really reflect on the week and even your day, just to recognize the amazing things that we've gotten done. We have some new friends. I'll be popping in and out from writing and helping out my partner with the kiddo. I hear ya. That is why these live streams are at 8:30. They used to be at 8:20. My husband and I, we have a 5-year-old, and sometimes getting him down for the night can be a little challenging. And on Sunday nights, my husband has a D&D, a Dungeons and Dragons group that we host at our house. And so I'm back and forth kind of between hosting and keeping our kiddo entertained during the night. And so the bedtime routine can be hectic. So I hear you. There have been times in the past during these live streams when I've had to like use the sprint to go and just do parenting stuff, just to get my kids settled for the night. So evenings can be really, really hectic. I am super glad that I am back to being mostly consistent with these live streams because it has been way too long. And having the dedicated writing time is super, super nice. So it seems like we do have quite a few new people in the chat. So welcome, guys. So the way that I like to run these live streams, we'll chat for a little bit like we are now, and then we will do 3 sprints. They will each be 25 minutes a piece. I turn off all the microphones. I don't play any music in the background because I like to listen to my own music, just to kind of like set the scene for my own writing. When I write, I start a YouTube playlist for myself. I privatize it to start anyway, and I just collect songs along the way that fit the vibes of the book. I write in a lot of series, and so I just make it a series playlist and add to it as I go. So it's kind of fun. If you listen to it from the very beginning of the playlist, you can kind of see where like the different mood shifts and stuff are in the series based on the music that I put in the playlist. It's kind of fun. And so when I do have everything published, I tend to make it a public playlist just for fun. And so for that reason, I don't play music in the background like some other authors do on YouTube when they do live streams, just because I think it's a little distracting for myself. And so you guys can choose your own music if you would like. And yeah, use the sprint however you would like. Oh, I feel those parenting sprints. Yes. 25-minute quiet sprints are perfect. Okay, perfect. I have in the past tried it with music before, and it just threw things off way too much. Not only that, but since I don't prefer to have music, for myself, I found myself doing like extra clicks during the live stream to like get everything set up properly that it was just too much. So I do silent sprints. So I don't know where that went. I dropped my pin cap on the floor somewhere. I don't know. We'll have to find that eventually. I like to fidget when I work. I have ADHD, and so um, fidgeting helps me like work through my thoughts, just some kind of movement. So I'm gonna have to find that here in a second. Okay, so we are ready for our first sprint of the night. I think I already put it. No, I did not put it in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat though for fun, for my own tracking too. I will be starting sprint number 1 at 35,920 words. I have a little bit to finish setting up around here, but I'm mostly ready to go and get started on our sprints tonight. So hopefully it'll be a really productive one for all of us. We'll get a lot done. Like I said at the beginning of the live stream, tonight I'm getting to like one of those really big moments in the book where my characters like really connect and they have kind of a breakthrough in a different way. And there's also some steamy bits in there. So it'll be a fun one to write tonight. So this book in general is just a lot spicier than book 1. And I knew it would be. I'm a bit more of like a slow burn kind of author. And so book 1 had some spicy bits in it, but it was still quite a bit of like getting connected to our characters. So I'm excited to really dive deeper into this relationship. So, okie dokie. So, 25 minutes is on the clock. I will see you guys in a little bit. 3, 2, 1, sprint. right. Hello, welcome back. I don't know there's my pencil, where my pencil went. Okay, I didn't think I was going to actually get too far into this scene because there were a few other things that I needed to do first, but I actually did not end up doing any of those things and just went straight into writing. So hopefully it was really good for you guys too, because I wrote 486 words, which is a really good first sprint for me. So let me know how you guys did. I am also working on a spicy scene tonight. That is super, super fun. Oh, yes, the scene I'm writing right now, there's a little bit of like angst in it. So there's a bit of like an argument going on, and it's a little bit, I'm getting in the headspace, okay? I'm doing my best. About 400 words, that sprint, most of which I got after the hubs finally took the kiddo out on their nightly walk. Aha. So maybe you'll do even better on the second sprint because now you'll have a little bit more downtime. Maybe it's a quieter house for you. I know some people need to work in complete silence. I have kind of a harder time working in complete silence. I need either like some kind of white noise or something going on, even if it's just like nature sounds outside. I can't sit in a quiet room and work. And I think that is also why, to some degree, I have a really hard time taking tests. Like, I really struggled with tests in school. And I think it's because I just can't focus in that kind of environment. It's too, the first word that comes to mind is like too sterile, which isn't really the word, not exactly like the same thing that I mean, but it's just too like manufactured, if that makes sense. It's like forced quiet. Doesn't work for me. Thank you. Nice word count. Yeah, 486 is pretty good, especially for the first time around. Usually I average somewhere about 600, and the first sprint's usually the lower one. So that's not bad at all. 445 for Rachel. Thank you, Byron. Byron says, nice. Nikki, 563. That's really good. Actually wrote, didn't get distracted. That is great. Nikki told me that last week, was it a dresser you built? I don't know. Nikki said she used the time last week. She intended to write and ended up building furniture instead, which I completely understand. When I join other people's live streams like this online, I tend to do other things like that also. I used to use them a lot for chores. What I would do is I would do the actual sprinting time. So like that 25 minutes we just did, I would write. And then during the discussion part, I would get up and I would do dishes or some task that I'd been putting off. If I was being really productive, that's what I would do. Nikki said, yes, it was a dresser. But at least it was productive. That's the whole point of these sprints, right? Just, you know, you can do anything for a set amount of time, right? At least that's how I talk myself into stuff. That tends to work for me. Oh my goodness. I forgot my dog was in the room. She's sleeping on my little couch over here, and she started snoring. Oh my gosh. All right. So, sprint number 1. Byron said I looked angry. I probably did. So I have gotten kind of into that scene I've been talking about. Nothing steamy happening yet, but there is a bit of like an argument. It's one of those, it's kind of falls into that trope where like, the couple has the really big heated argument and then they have like the makeup spicy stuff afterwards. It's a little like that kind of a situation. There's a breakthrough in there. And so it's kind of an important point of tension. So yeah, we move on from Lily's some of like her personality and her own like anxious issues, and she kind of like, I don't know, puts the pieces together for herself by talking them out loud in this discussion. Angel doesn't really do much as far as like that. But yeah, conversation that needed to happen. I love to use productivity sprints for chores, especially in the morning. Yes, I have actually, for a while, at least a couple weeks ago, I was really, really struggling with my schedule. I'm not currently, I mean, I'm like going in to my workplace, but I'm not currently working there. I have to finish some licensing stuff. So I mostly go in just to kind of like volunteer and help do things a little bit. And I was doing that in the morning time. And then I would come home for lunch and try to write before I had to do school pickup. And that just did not work. I think just getting home and then having all of these things to do, I think it was getting home to write, which was something to do, but seeing that there were dishes in the sink or I needed to do the laundry, there were just too many other things. And so it ended up being where I was getting almost nothing done. So recently, like the last 2 weeks, I've actually flipped my schedule. So I'm doing my writing and my sprints like that in the morning now. And it has made it really, really productive. I always feel better after I've done some writing. It is like the best way to cure a bad mood for me. And so starting my morning that way and just getting it all out and getting a lot of stuff done in that realm puts me in a really good headspace and in a good mood to just continue the productivity. And so that has made a giant difference for me, just flipping my schedule. So that's been nice. It's the best way to jumpstart everything on my to-do list. I should have read your next comment because it's kind of what I just said too. It really is. It's the best way to start a morning anymore for me. I wake up, get my kiddo, get my 5-year-old to school, and then I come home and drink the rest of my coffee in peace and get started on writing stuff. So it really is. It's great. So switching was the best thing. Hopefully, I'll have everything in order with testing though this week since I had to reschedule that. I'm going to take that on Tuesday. So hopefully, I'll have everything put away and I'll have passed that because that's the last of my licensing stuff to be a therapist. And so once I'm done with that, the state board pulls test scores at the end of the month on the 30th. And so I'll be able to start doing employment stuff. And then my schedule's going to change all again in another week. And I'll have to figure out when that writing time happens. But that is okay. That schedule will be a lot more flexible than some of my previous employment places. So I'll be able to set that myself, which is super nice. So it'll be exactly what works best for me. That's going to be so, so nice. Okie dokie. So, second sprint, make sure you've liked the video down below and subscribe if you are enjoying our sprints. I do these every single Sunday night. Sometimes I do a pop-up here and there if I have kind of a free evening. I've done a couple like Friday during the daytime too. Most of them are like far and few in between. I don't do a ton of pop-ups, but I do go live every single week on Sundays. So if this time works for you, come back next week. Turn on the bell down below so you don't miss it, so you don't forget, and you'll get notified before we go live on Sundays. So there's that. I also do vlog content. I used to do a vlog every Sunday that followed my progress and all of my writing from the week, plus a video on Wednesdays that was a little bit more like teaching slash specialty. And I have not been doing those videos just because I'm so busy between writing and then getting certification stuff done. And so I've put that on pause for now. But YouTube's a fun place. We do lots of little things. And once I finish with some certification stuff, I'm hoping to come back to more consistent Wednesday videos because I do have some ideas jotted down and pushed aside for later. So make sure you're not missing out here on YouTube. All right. I think it's a good time to go ahead and start into our second sprint. I am 36,406 words in now. So that is where I'm starting sprint number 2, hoping to get a lot more done. We are right in the middle of like all of the tension when the timer went off. So I'm coming back to like kind of a weird spot to pick up with. So yeah, it'll be a good time. Hopefully we get a lot done, and hopefully, Byron, I don't look as angry this time around. I don't want anyone worrying. Okay, so second sprint's up and ready. I will chat with you in 25. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. Second sprint down. It feels like the night is going really fast tonight. I think it's just because I am like so zoned in this headspace to get this scene done. And I'm trying to be really, really careful about it. I want everything to be expressed perfectly, especially because some of it has to do with Lily's emotions. And if you've read book one, you know that Lily also struggles pretty intensely with some like past trauma and some anxiety as a result of that trauma. And so I want to, this is where like my therapy training really comes in, because I want to express this scene and this conversation between Lily and Angel from a very like therapeutic mindset. I want it to be a healthy discussion and a healthy display of how things like this should be discussed. So I'm just being very, very careful. All right, Gwenna had to go. Got to put the kids down. 693 words. Oh my gosh. And I finished the scene I was working on. That's awesome, Rachel. I only got 414 in this sprint because I was slowing down to be really careful and intentional. And so it did take me a little bit longer. So I didn't get quite as much done. No idea what I'm going to work on next sprint though. I hear ya. Oh my goodness. I'm going to need like a breather after this scene, I think, because it's heavy enough. Not like dark in any way, just like very emotional between both characters. And so sometimes I need like a palate cleanser after that. So I think what I'm going to do is finish this scene, and then I think I'm going to move on to some of those little things I needed to wrap up that I said I was going to start on before our live stream tonight, and then just jumped right into writing instead. So I think that may be what I do after I finish with the scene for the night. My plan for tomorrow, I actually have a lot of things on my to-do list. I have a little Monday to-do sticky note that's stuck right here on my laptop. And I have a lot of little things to do this week. I have a couple errands I need to run, but other than that, I'm hoping to do a ton of writing tomorrow morning. Nikki got 428. Ooh, that seems to be the range for most of us. Well, except for Rachel's 600, almost like 700 words. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. That is a lot of progress. We're all having a really productive night, it seems. So I'm excited for us. So tomorrow, mostly a writing day, a little bit of marketing stuff that I need to do a little bit of prep and creation for tomorrow, but mostly writing. I also, part of that marketing stuff, Tuesday is a Stuff Your Kindle Day. It's a Stuff Your Kindle Day for romance readers. It's the Romance Lovers Bookworm Stuff Your Kindle Day, I think is what the website is. I'm going to have to attach it. Maybe I'll link it somewhere. But Tuesday is that day. There's hundreds of books included in this round, which is really, really exciting. I actually have 2 books this time around and not just one. I have the second book in my trilogy, Shade of the Shadowlands. So book 2 will be free. Book 1, I just set at 99 cents in the Amazon store, the Kindle store. So if you are a Kindle reader, you can download book 1 for 99 cents. And then Tuesday, you can get book 2 completely free. So that's really nice. 2 books for 99 cents. So if that's interesting to you, Tuesday would be the day to grab that. But you can get started on book 1 right now because that is up. I double checked. So that is at 99 cents online right now. I also have my very first book I published. It's a sci-fi standalone, The Arena. That will be included in Stuff My Kindle on Tuesday also. So that book will also be completely free in the Kindle store on Tuesday. So a lot of tomorrow is just pushing out like promotional stuff for Stuff My Kindle Day, because I have been a little behind on doing that. The last time around, that I did this. I started promoting it a couple more days in advance. And so this time around, I don't know if it really helped me or not, promoting it that far in advance, because I really do think it's more of the event that needs to be promoted in advance, not necessarily my particular books, just giving people a heads up that Stuff My Kindle Day is on whatever day. Because I think people go through the entire website and just kind of mass download stuff. So I had a ton of downloads the last time I set my book free, just myself, and I had a ton more for the last event they did. So I'm excited for Tuesday, but I have a lot of prep to do for that tomorrow. So that and writing are my goals for tomorrow. What does everyone else have planned for the week? Any big goals? Anything they want to check off their to-do list? I also need to finish this backdrop at some point this week. That's also on the list. I think that's going to be a Alex Prokopis project, though. I think I might make him hang the shelves, not worry about it myself. Okay. Rachel said, I normally don't write that much. I guess I was feeling inspired. Well, I'm glad you got a ton down. That's awesome. That is a lot of words in 25 minutes, I would say. My only goal for next week is to finally finish this draft. You know, I'm kind of with you. I really, really want to finish Curse of Blood and Sight this week. I would love to finish it this week, but if I can finish it next week or even the very beginning of May, I would be very, very happy, because I get Trial of Flame and Wings back from my editor on Friday. I really want to buckle down. I want to be able to like completely switch to that project again. Since we are about 2 months out from release date for that book. So I would really like to just completely switch. So I would love if I could have my draft of this book also finished by this week or next week. That would be a lot of work, though, for me to get done this week. So it would be more likely that I could get done next week or the week after. So hopefully by May, we are done with Curse of Blood and Sight. Nikki said lots of work training and finishing up a corner in my office too. Ooh, that's exciting. Yeah, my office is still kind of a disaster in here. This room used to just be a ton of storage, so it rotated a lot. It had been a guest room / storage space / office space. It's been a lot of different things, just depending on what needed to get rotated around the house, like seasonally. And I finally decided to just dedicate this space to being an office, but it's still not, it's very much cluttered in here. Everything gets used for the most part and everything has a purpose, but it's just not very aesthetic. And I would kind of like to make it a little bit more purposeful in here. So that's the next project after I finish all of this backdrop. I decided with live streaming and everything, and I'm in here enough doing other filming and Zoom calls and stuff that I wanted to have a little bit more of a nicer backdrop in this room, because where I used to write did have some nicer views in our den with my bookshelf. That looked really nice as a backdrop, but all of the spaces I was previously using for filming are all public spaces in our house. And so it would be a little bit harder to just set up and live stream in those spaces. All right. Third sprint of the night. Make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter, because that is also something that I'm doing tomorrow. I just told you guys about the Stuff My Kindle event, but I'm sending out that information again, plus links and stuff, in my newsletter tomorrow. As well as other information. Like I told you guys, I think at the very beginning of the stream, maybe, that I do have stock back on my website, because I had an author signing event yesterday. And so whatever is left over, I posted on my website this morning. And so there is stuff there if you would like to order. You can check my website for that. So I'm including that information. along with just a little bit of like where I am in my progress right now in my newsletter for tomorrow. Usually I only send a newsletter out once a month, just with updates and things coming for the next month. But when I have bigger things going on, like this free book promotion and stuff, I tend to push out more information. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter. I also am getting ready to push out, speaking of getting Trial of Flame and Wings back this next week, I should be pushing out information about ARC readers very soon. So if you're interested in ARC reading, a kind of dragon-esque book with sort of like a Merida from Brave plot, oh my gosh, I love that so much. It's going to be so fun. This main character is so angsty, total girl badass. Love her. Very different than Lily from the book I'm writing right now. But if that sounds like your jam, I haven't actually opened my ARC team up in about a year, but I wanted to gather some new people to read for me because this is more of a like a larger fantasy series, and so it's lengthier, it's a lot more in depth. I wouldn't at all call it like high fantasy at all. It's definitely a romantasy, but it does have a lot more world building and stuff to it, and so I wanted to get some new people on my team that also like to read that as well. So if that sounds fun, I do have that application open again, and that is in the description box. So I would love, love, love to have some new people on my team. And that stuff will be coming super soon too, because I'll get final edits back, and hopefully beginning of May, I'll be able to push out final information. And I want to get ARCs out early because when I did ARCs for Curse of Wings and Darkness, I pushed them out about a month before the release. And I was kind of surprised. I actually had people email me back and let me know that they were really glad that I gave them an entire month, because if it didn't already line up perfectly with where they were like in their own personal reading schedule with their TBR, then they wouldn't have been able to read it very like in a very timely manner. And so it gave them a little wiggle room. So they had a couple extra weeks to finish stuff before they had to start reading, which was kind of nice. So I'm going to try to do that again. So first of the month for ARC readers. So that is your date if you are interested in becoming an ARC reader for this book. All right. Nikki says, same. I had to get the dresser for more storage to make it look less cluttered. Yes. At our old house, we got at the old house, that's where we got all of our bedroom furniture. And at this new house, I think our bedroom is actually larger, but it's not a perfect square. It's actually kind of like long. And so one of the pieces was a great big armoire with like a really nice mirror on the front. And it just didn't fit super great in that room, like in any kind of like, it just didn't fit in along any wall where it wasn't in the way of something else. And so we actually moved it into this room. And so, yes, everything that I don't use super often or just need to store for like seasonal decor and stuff is just shoved in that dresser in the corner. So I feel ya. That's why I got the shelves too, so that I can move stuff onto the shelves rather than them sitting on the floor in my boxes. So I'm also looking at some other furniture too. I got a side table. I might order another one to put over here for more stuff. So yes, hopefully I'm just decluttering the room though and not just adding more surfaces. You know what I mean? Like hopefully it actually helps with the floor space and doesn't just, I don't know, add to the chaos. Okay. Last sprint of the night, sprint number 3, another 25 minutes. Oh my gosh, June keeps snoring in the corner. My dog's name is June. If you're new to my YouTube channel, she's a little Havanese. She's the sweetest thing ever. Insanely gentle. Oh my gosh, she doesn't snore like this super often, but she's definitely snoring right now. Okay, 25 minutes up. It'll be our last one. So in 25 minutes, we'll come back, wrap things up, and hopefully we'll get ourselves pumped up and ready to kick off a really great week. So 25 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. Woo. Final sprint of the night. I wrote the least amount in that sprint compared to the others. I wrote 367 words, but it's like I said, I'm trying to be really, really careful about this conversation. Yeah. So I'm slowing up progressively as we get through it. And then once it's over, I'm sure it'll all be back to normal. But I'm at 1,267 words for the entire stream, which is really good. I tend to get at least 1,000 at the very least when I sit down and do these live streams. So, or even just like a writing session in general, if I'm doing like a short writing session, 1,000 words is pretty good for me. So I am happy with my progress from the night. I do think I'm going to at least continue through part of this scene and wrap it up. I don't know how much later I'll stay, but I do want to finish up a little bit more. Feel like at least I get to like a good like stopping point with this conversation. I do feel like I need to at least finish that because coming back and getting in this headspace again will only slow me down further. So I would really like to finish that at least before I go to bed. Rachel said she had 488 words that time. That is awesome. Woo! It has been really productive for all of us tonight. I am so happy for us. And it sounds like everybody has mostly like a relaxing week coming up, I hope anyway. 345 this time for Nikki. She said 1,336 for the night. That's great. Got to a perfect stopping point and got a load of dishes done. Oh, you got a lot of stuff done. If you got to a stopping point and got a load of dishes going, oh my gosh. Yeah, I did see that. I wasn't going to say anything. Oh my goodness. That was a productive night though for you. All right. Hopefully the rest of this week has kind of like the same vibes going. I have some like Halloween-y vibes tonight. I just pulled the t-shirt out of the closet this afternoon. I've been doing house things like dishes like you were doing and stuff. And so I just kind of threw on whatever t-shirt was handy, and it happened to be one of my favorite Halloween shirts. So didn't even think about that for the live stream tonight, but I don't tend to be all dressed up anyway for these. I put myself on the internet a lot without makeup and stuff, which is kind of funny. I'm pretty relaxed anymore about stuff. So, which is what these streams are all about. It's supposed to just be a time for all of us to come together, get a little bit of work done, relax, just kind of get our heads wrapped around everything we need to be doing and then what we have going on in the future, like this upcoming week. So hopefully it's a good one for everybody. Hopefully I pass my test this week and that's off my plate, because then it's just writing. Trial of Flame and Wings comes back to me at the end of this week, which I am super excited to get back to. Oh, there's the free book day on Tuesday. So there's a lot going on this week, but it's all stuff I'm really looking forward to. All things I'm mostly prepped for that aren't actually going to be super time consuming, at least for this week. So it should be a really good one for me. And I hope it is for all of you guys too. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I think this is where I leave all of you. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have. Make sure to turn on the notification down below. Click that little bell and subscribe if you're not. That way you don't miss next week, because we will do another live stream next week at the same time. I will try to get that scheduled. Probably not tonight. It'll probably be something I put up for tomorrow morning. So it is definitely coming. Hope you pass your test. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you got so much done tonight. That is awesome. Good luck on the test. Thank you guys. I'm feeling really good about it. I was a little sad I didn't get to take it last week because I was feeling super great about it. I talk about it a lot in the vlog that I posted today. I went into like stats and stuff on like how I was performing on all the study material, which is really nerdy of me, but I'm feeling good about it. So hopefully everything will go really well this week, and yeah, it'll be off my plate. So thank you guys for joining me. As always, read books, be kind. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Oh my